today I'm going to show you the correct order of makeup, which is an updated version. Now I just want to add that there are a couple of different ways of putting makeup on, and there's a different order for each of those ways. So for example, if you really like underpainting, which basically means applying all of your cream products underneath your foundation, such as cream bronzer, cream contour, cream blush, and also your concealer, and then applying your foundation on top, that is underpainting. There's a very different order of application for that type of technique. If you like applying your foundation first and then like layering on all the cream products on top, such as your blush, bronzer, concealer, etc., that is the general, I would say, technique. I'm not going to say the right technique because I think both of them give a very different result, but I'm going to say this is probably what I would say majority of people do, right? So that is what we're doing today. We are doing the kind of everyday kind of makeup, which is not underpainting. So you've probably seen previous videos of me explaining how I love the underpainting technique and explaining the correct order for underpainting. This is not wrong, what we're doing today. It's just a different technique. So it's a different kind of style of makeup that everyone uses, or a lot of people use. As I said, we're going to be doing the technique that a lot of people tend to use, which is foundation first, then everything on top. So I'm going to start with my primer. I have my skincare on already. That I'm going to leave down to you. I trust that you guys have your tailored skincare routine, so you know exactly what you're doing there. The first thing I want to apply is my primer once my skincare has settled down. Now I'm using my Hydro Grip Primer from Milk Makeup because I really do like that tacky finish that it gives. And I basically smooth it over, and I really do tend to focus more along the center of the face than the perimeter. The reason for that is because I generally apply a bit more makeup along the center, and you'll find a lot of makeup artists do this, and we apply less around the perimeter. So you don't really need as much primer there. I also make sure that the amount of primer that I apply there is a very thin layer, not a lot. Now once I've let this primer settle down a little bit, generally it tends to be pretty quick, but if you apply more, then obviously it takes a bit longer, which is why I always recommend applying less. So the first thing we want to do is now get our foundation on. We want a really nice thin layer. This is the next step. I want to go for a dewy base today, so I am going to use my dewy foundation, which I feel like it's one of the best for a dewy look. This is my Patrick Tar Major Skin Hydrolux Luminous Skin Perfecting Foundation. I'm laughing because I just made a mistake and said something else. Definitely not leaving that in. Okay, so we've got like a pump of that on the back of the hand. It's quite a fluid foundation. So this is my next step. I'm really going to get this buffed in. Focus on the center of the face. Your foundation is honestly there to give you a veil of color. It's not necessarily to like give you insane coverage, because if you rely on your foundation for like crazy coverage, then I would say it's most likely going to turn out quite heavy. You know, even if you are using a very light coverage foundation and then you end up layering a lot more on top, because the more you layer, the more thicker it's gonna get. Okay, now slowly, whatever's left on the brush, I take this out towards the perimeter. Okay, I'm happy with that. Can you see we've got a nice uniform layer? It's a veil of color. It just kind of like brings some life to my face because I was so pale before, but it also evens everything out. I'm 15 Golden Neutral, by the way. That's my color here. It's such a nice color. Right, I've got my Guerlain Terracotta Concealer. I'm 2.5N. I haven't used this for a while, but this is a really nice, like, I would say daily concealer. It's not thick and clumpy and like heavy, but also it is great for like over 40 or mature skin, so it's really good if you're dealing with fine lines or wrinkles. So what I like to do here is apply this wherever I need it. Now I'm going to apply this just here because that's usually where I apply it anyway, and then I like to get a little bit of a lift here, and then I get a bit of a lift there. That's the only places I'm going to apply it. What I do now is I get my beauty blender, spray it with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, and then I just buff this in. And again, like I said, I want a nice dewy base, but I also really do not want it to be so heavy. I really like the way this concealer kind of partners up with this foundation. I just think the both of them together go really well. Okay, so now at this point, what I want to do is just get whatever's left on my sponge and take this over onto the lids. Most of the time you don't need extra product to apply onto the lids. It's honestly enough from your sponge. I hope you can see just how well this concealer goes with this foundation. It's not just me. Like, I really love the way they just merge together. It's kind of like they were made for one another. The next product we're going to apply is our bronzer stroke contour. This is where you want to decide, do you want bronzer or do you want contour? I personally love using bronzers because I just feel like it warms up my face really nicely at the same time. And I do still manage to get a really nice kind of good sculpt from it too. That's why I do prefer slightly warmer bronzers. So I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Sun Kissed Glow Bronzer in Tan. And I'm also using my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Brush. And I'm just going to get some product on here and I take it onto the back of my hand just to wipe some off. And then I just put a really nice subtle layer just on my cheekbones, just below my cheekbones. Can you see how that's just like immediately warmed it up there? Now you always want to make sure that you do take it onto the back of the hand first, because otherwise you're going to go in with a lot of product. This is the issue that you don't face when you're doing underpainting, because obviously everything is underneath, so that, you know, when you apply your foundation on top, it gives everything a soft focused look. That came out really weird. It gives everything a soft focused effect, but that's why I really love that technique. But I do know so many people use this technique by just, you know, they like layering everything up on top of the foundation. So that's why we're doing this. So we're going to go along the perimeter. I like to go onto the edge of my brow wing just to kind of lift that area. And then I go really close to my hairline here, and that just shapes my face a bit. I'm happy with that. I do a little bit on the side of my nose. Next is cream blush. Now, I do really love this one. I used this the other day and it was great. This is the Refi Cream Blush in Cherry. I'm going to use my Hourglass 15 brush. I've got a tiny sample size here, so I don't actually have the full size, but, you know, we're just going to use this. Now, I take it on the back of my hand again, and then what I do is I buff this on, so just tap it on from the top part of my apple of cheek, right top corner, and then take it into the kind of, I wouldn't say temple, but kind of like into the hairline a little, but not too far in. It really does depend on the size of your features, like how big your cheek area is, you know, how much space you have. But I do go upwards and outwards. I think that's the safest rule to follow. Okay, so I've got some nice colour there. Next is my powder. So this is where I really want to kind of like set all the areas that I want to set. Now, if you use a loose powder, that's completely up to you. Because I'm going for that dewy look, I do prefer to use a pressed powder when I want a dewy look. Honestly, only because I feel like it's much easier to get that precision and to apply it wherever I need it. And it's kind of a bit more controllable in terms of like how much matteness you get, if that's a word. But yeah, so I just have a bit more control over where I matte down. Now at this point, we've kind of done all the areas that we would crease. The only other area I tend to crease, which I'm going to do this really quickly, is my smile lines. So I'm going to just go around that area. Right, now I want to figure out where else do I want to actually mattify the area. So it's going to be around my eyebrows, because I hate that being shiny, just down the middle of my face. Also don't like a shiny upper lip. And then I go over my kind of like middle cheek area because I have a bit of texture there. but I leave the perimeter of my face because I like that to have that bit of kind of glow and shine come through. I do feel like that just makes everything look a lot more skin-like and natural. Now, the next step in this order is actually cleaning your brows. So I've got a wet wipe here, and I just make sure there's no product sitting in my brows, which there always will be. So trust me when I tell you, this is a really important step. And then you want to get your brow gel. So I'm going to use my Refi Brow Sculpt, and I'm just going to get this product into my brows. I just kind of go back and forth to really get it in there. And then I just get a spoolie and kind of brush them up. This one is, which one? This is my Makeup by Mario E7 brush. I let that dry for a little bit because it needs to be dry before I put my kind of brow pencil on. And then my next step is going to be just to hydrate my lips. I get some of my Dual Lip Maximizer on. I like to give that a bit of time to settle down and hydrate my lips before I go in with my lips, which is usually my last step. So I put that on at this point, and then I decide, right, what do I want to do? Is my brow area dry? It's kind of more or less dry, so we're going to get on with the brows. Okay, so I have my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil, and at this point, I like to just shape them out a little bit. So I just kind of like do a rough shape. By the way, please do like this video and subscribe to the channel because it means that you're not actually going to miss my next video, especially if you hit that little bell button there. Also, have you subscribed to the Beauty Breakfast Club? It's my online publication where basically I write about everything to do with beauty, everything to do with like a little bit of health, a little bit of style, some culture, some kind of mindset stuff on there. You get like an over 40s section as well. So you're really going to enjoy it because everything's written by me. I write a new newsletter. It goes out every other day. It's free to subscribe, but you can get the paid version, which I think is actually, honestly, so worth it because you basically get to join the group chat, which means you can ask me any questions directly. And also it unlocks the entire site. So you get to actually like unlock the entire site. There's so many things on there like tips and tricks. There's also like kind of, I'm just doing feather strokes by the way here. There's like tips and tricks, there's like product reviews, there's actual kind of step-by-step routines, there's like a lot of kind of problem solving on there. So any issues you might have when it comes to makeup or skincare or anything like that, I think you're really going to enjoy it. So yeah, make sure you head over. And by the way, the paid version is only the same as getting yourself, you know, one coffee a month. It's like not a lot at all. So yeah, head on over and subscribe. So what I do is I just get a slightly darker pencil here, which is my Charlotte Tilbury Brow Cheat, and I only go over the areas where I basically have no hair. It just adds a bit of depth so that it doesn't look so obvious. I curl my lashes. This is the next step. I use my Kevyn Aucoin lash curlers because they genuinely are the best lash curlers ever. I'm going to use a different mascara today. I'm going to use my NARS Climax mascara. I just haven't used it in a while. I just want to see whether it's something I still love. Oh, it's actually really nice. It's a good everyday mascara. Does anyone else use this? Let me know. It's quite an easy mascara, right? It's not like crazy volume, but it like, you know, it's good. It's not like mind-blowing, but it's a good everyday mascara. At this point, I do my lips. So I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in Iconic Nude. And I just get a natural lip line all the way around. Let's go in with my Bobbi Brown liquid lipstick in Weekender. Okay, so at this point, it's up to you whether you want to add anything else. This is kind of like the finishing touches stage. So do you want a little bit more powder in certain areas? I would do that at this point. And if you are using a pressed powder, you can also use a puff with it. So if you want, you can go into it with a puff. and then just really kind of press it on. If you feel like a brush kind of doesn't do the job for you, but you still only want it in the center, you can use a puff. And you can also at this point now add things like, for example, if you want to top up the blush with maybe a little bit more cream blush or powder blush, or you can add like a cream highlighter. I'm going to use a cream highlighter just to show you. So I've got my Beauty Blender, I've got my Patrick Tar Major Glow Chrome and Powder Light Reflecting Translucent Highlighter Duo in Daddy. It's so long. I'm using the cream side, getting it on the back of a sponge, and then I just kind of add it to the peaks of my cheekbones, and it just adds this really nice glow. This has become really squeaky, look. I don't know what's going on with it. So I add a bit of gloss there. As you can see, that's like a really nice glowy, dewy look coming through. And then if you want to add blush, you can add a bit more of the kind of cream blush at this point. You can, I did say powder a second ago, but that's more so if you have powdered down the perimeter of your face. If you haven't, like me, and you've kept it quite kind of like clean and it's just your base, then you can still go in with that cream blush again, because it's not set. So it's not going to kind of disturb the base, you know. And that is my correct order of makeup, which is an updated version for 2026. This is basically for anyone who likes applying everything on top of their foundation. So I know a lot of people do apply makeup that way, so I really wanted to like cater for you guys. It's really easy. If you have any questions, please do let me know. If you want to know, you know, a bit more into like, in terms of like the order of eye makeup maybe, then, you know, let me know in the comments. It all depends on the kind of eye look we're going for, but I really want to know from you guys like what my next video should be. Obviously I pre-record these, so it's not like I recorded this yesterday, so give me some time, but please do let me know in the comments. I would love to know. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button, because it means you won't miss my next video, and I'll see you on the next video.